following is a Learfield presentation of the Washington State Sports Network.
He buries it. The Cougs have taken the lead. This place is going to pop off.
This is the Cougar Football Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
We're committed to being great here.
Lofts it, intercepted, and Washington State, Shaw Smith-Wade.
I'm proud to represent Washington State. I know the people that wear their Cougs all across this country, they're proud to be a part of Washington State.
Ward has blocking to the right, sprints to the 10, angles all the way, touchdown.
Why not be here? Why not cheer on this team? Why not see this environment and make it something special?
Spins out of a tackle, has Green 20-yard line to the 15, near sideline, Watson, touchdown.
What an opportunity to show who we are as Cougs.
Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. Life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank. Member FDIC. Tonight's show is also brought to you by Zappos, where the Palouse comes to play and eat. Now, live from Zappos, alongside Cougar head coach Jake Dickert, here's the voice of the Cougs, Matt Chazanow.
What a great crowd we've got tonight. We are slammed. We've got a coach's show attendance record. We have a Cougar football.
Is that official?
That is an official number. I'm locking it in. I don't know what the number is, but it's high.
Yeah,
it's high.
We'll add it. Here's 0 onto it as the years go.
Sure. It's a big fish story. It is a big fish story. What great crowd. Great to see everybody here, friends and family, and our regulars and some more. And it's great to have everybody here. And you're 1-0, Coach. Congratulations. Got a 50-24 win on the road to start the season.
I mean, it feels good. I mean, you practice so much and you get to a certain point, you're just ready to play. And I think it's good to see your whole team in the same color jersey. You know, you go against each other so much in fall camp. But to go on the road, especially with a young team, and come out a win, there was so many learns from week one.
50-24. Game, honestly, might not have even been that close. It was a real one-sided game. It was. The Cougars were out. Lincoln Victor was phenomenal. Cameron Ward was phenomenal. The defense, Jaden Hicks had a pick six. A lot of learns, but there were a lot of positives in that game.
Yeah, I think we got to the point where we felt, defensively went out and almost got 6 out of 8 3-and-outs. I think the offense, as we went through and kind of slugged it out, a tough first half, and I think there's some things that we left out there. And I thought as the game went, I think we really caught our stride. So, the finishing part on defense we got to work on. I think there was a point where we relaxed a little bit. And relax is not a great way to finish a game. So we caught our guys' attention, and I think we need to be a new team as we take the field this week. But I think that's what you get when you go out there and you learn a lot about yourself.
How much do you glean from Coach Arbuckle and Coach Schmedding, the new coordinators? Just one game, but what can we extrapolate from that?
Well, I think first off, I think as a staff, was really united, really connected. I think everybody was really on the same page. And I think all Cougs fans got to see this newest version of what our offense is going to be. It's going to be using the tight ends, multiple shifts, motions. You can just see his creativity and the way he's going to attack different defenses in multiple different ways. And we're going to utilize all of Cam's skill sets. So you saw him be the pocket passer. You saw him rolling on the move. But more importantly, you saw him run the ball. And we're going to do a lot of different things to make sure we're keeping people off balance. And I think Jeff is the perfect guy to really take our defense to the next level. So he's taken the foundation that we've built for the last 3 years, and I believe he'll continue to elevate it.
I always like regurgitating my analyst, Alex Brink's thoughts. Makes me sound smart. Yeah. Then I credit him, but I still get to say it.
That's okay. That's okay.
He was excited at actually the first missed pass by Cameron Ward because he said stepped up in the pocket. Yeah. Didn't see a ton of that, right? He didn't bail out. Yeah. And he said he made a really good read. It was a little bit off on timing. It wasn't quite perfect, but he said that was the right decision. That was the right throw. It was a good-looking ball. It didn't work out.
Really talking about the first third down of the game. They're in the Tampa 2. They're running the mic out. We had DT on the seam, but you can just see his progression. Staying square, no backpedal drop, working through different progressions as he works across the field, and really proud of Cam and his development. And to see the results after the work, I think, as a coach is really empowering, but that's credit to the kid and his mindset of wanting to get better.
He's had a lot of pressure on him. Incarnate Word transfer. Yeah. Last year, he has a very good year. He definitely wanted to have some different results at times in the field, but he came out game one, and he was about as good as it gets. I mean, he had a fumble, fixable, right?
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, just enough for a coach to say, hey, we got something to work on and improve on.
Right. It was nice of him to give you something to coach him on is really what he was doing.
I think the best part is, without talking about Cam, you can't talk about the advances in the offensive line. And if he was sitting up here right now, they kept him clean. I think the one sack, and Cam would probably take that sack. I think he should have stepped up in the pocket and gotten rid of the ball. But his growth is there, and that's what we're going to need as a team. I think we'll go as he goes. But at the end of the day, to have that first game success, I just think relaxes everybody. There was a lot of new pieces around him, and I think it just took a little bit to get in sync. But I think you also see what we're capable of at wide receiver. It isn't just fighting and scrapping for those yards. It's just being that delivery man of getting the guys ball in space and watching those guys go make some plays.
Yeah, Josh Kelly had a big one. Lincoln Victor had that game that we always thought Lincoln Victor could have. He was phenomenal.
Well, I just think Lincoln, I've seen so many things. Everyone gets to see the player. Everyone gets to see the results. I said this after the game. He's at the workouts at 5 a.m. catching balls on the jugs. He's the first one to the meetings. He stays after practice. He works and lives his craft. And the consistency that he's brought to our team, both as a leader and as a player, it's just one of those coaches' dreams when you see that guy have success. You just show everybody else what it really takes to play at that level and play, well. So just really compliment Lincoln there.
Yeah, and you had Ben Arbuckle last year at Western Kentucky. His quarterback threw 40 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
Well, Cameron Ward rushed for one, and then John Mateer is running the ball into the end zone with the running QB package.
Yeah, I think that's the versatility that I think John brings to our team. And, that's a unique balance, and we want to keep enhancing that. I know from a defensive perspective, when we would play Oregon State and they'd bring in the guy that's going to be the Wildcat.
Coletto.
You're spending, just burning the midnight hours just trying to figure out what it can be and what it will be. And I think John has that ability plus the ability to throw. So to be not just goal line in the middle of the field, short yardages, do a bunch of different things to try to make sure that we're using his strengths too.
He's just a few pounds shy of Coletto, but he's in that mold.
But don't. John's going to run it the same way.
Yeah, he runs hard. He does run
physical.
hard. Yeah,
yep.
He runs really, really hard. Cooper Mathers caught a few balls at the tight end
it was good to
spot.
use the tight ends. I think that was maybe a surprise to some out there.
Yeah.
We mean it. We feel really good about the tight end position. We didn't bring anybody new. Those guys just got better.
Yeah.
So we're going to utilize their skill sets, and Coop is a downfield threat, and we're just going to keep working those guys in.
The O-line always gets mentioned as the O-line, right? It's always just this group, this mass
that's
because
you got to play, 5 as 1.
Yeah, that's what it is?
Yeah, they're not a collection of pennies. They're one nickel. That's what they say, right? That's their little saying. So they got to play together. As we go, they go. But Esa Pole, anchor down at the left tackle. 3 years ago, he wasn't even playing football.
It's an underrated. That's a crazy story. Starting left tackle here this year for the Cougs. Didn't play the sport 3 years ago.
Yeah, so
6'7", 320.
Yeah, Falili 2 years ago was still a defensive lineman. So to have two anchor tackles that are just, embracing those guys and have Connor in the middle of them directing the traffic has been just a big step forward for our program.
Looked like a clean pocket.
Yeah,
it looked like
it was.
Yeah, felt like a clean pocket.
It felt good.
It felt good. We just went heavy offense. We'll take a break. We'll go heavy defense.
Let's do
next.
it.
Live here. Great crowd. It's great
Let's
to
go.
see everybody. We're
Ready
outside.
to go.
Special edition of the Cougar Football Hour here with Coach Dickert. We'll be back next.
Saturdays are made for football. And when the game is on, we're finally off. Off duty, offline, out of office. A cracked Coors Light is our do not disturb message to the world. On game day, we don't think about the 9 to 5, but worry about the 4th and 1. So this Saturday, grab a Coors Light, press play on some pigskin, and pause on everything else. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshments, made to chill. Proud partner of Cougar Athletics. 2021 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Spokane International Airport is a proud sponsor of Washington State University Athletics. The airport connects Cougar fans and alums with over 50 daily departures to 18 nonstop destinations provided by 6 major airlines, as well as one-stop connections to most major metropolitan centers throughout the U.S. Real-time arrival and flight departure information is available at SpokaneAirports.net. Spokane International Airport, when it's time to fly.
Do you ever pay attention to overhead power lines? If you're like most people, you don't, but you should, especially when you're working up on a roof or carrying a ladder outdoors. Kids who climb trees and fly kites and adults with drones need to watch out for power lines too. And on the off chance that you find a downed power line, stay at least 10 feet away and quickly call 911 and Avista. Always pay attention to power lines. It's your best line of defense. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
Cougar football lives here.
Up the middle, touchdown! 1 second left. Cougars on top.
On the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Whenever I see somebody purchasing something with their WSU card, I always like to give them a go Cougs. It brings me back to when I was in Pullman.
From the rolling hills of the Palouse to keys jingling before every kickoff, there's something special about being a Cougar. That's why BECU created the WSU credit and debit cards. It's just one more way to show pride for a place we all call home. Grab your WSU card today. BECU, power in people. Membership required. Restrictions apply. Call 800-233-2328 for details about credit costs and terms. Federally insured by NCUA. Member compensated for participation.
As a locally owned family business, tradition is the core of Chipman and Taylor Chevrolet in Pullman. We know that every family has traditions, and when it comes to automotive, we want your traditions to start with us. The family at Chipman and Taylor Chevrolet. We are a different type of dealership, and we take pride in continuing what we were taught many years ago, to be honest, never pressure, and to treat our customers like our own family. It's just that simple at Chipman and Taylor Chevrolet in Pullman.
This is the Cougar Football Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Runs into a massive Crimson, does not get the yard. It's a goal line stand.
Here's the voice of the Cougars, Matt Chazanow.
Back at it live here at Zeppo's. We're talking ball with Coach Dickert, Cougar Football Hour. Hey, quick programming note, by the way. We're always extremely proud. We love our radio network. We're on all across the state. Actually, we're on for games in the northernmost radio affiliate in the world.
Oh, there you go.
We're on in the north slopes of Alaska. Shout out to them. They're looking for oil up there, and they listen to the Cougar games, and we love them. Of course, we're on in Portland and Seattle and whatnot. But we're on. This show's now on TV, which is awesome, and we're excited.
There we go.
So Friday, Saturday will be on SWX. So if you got SWX, and I think from Seattle to Western Montana, just about everybody does.
Good.
We're excited to have them aboard. They'll be on. We're live here tonight on our radio feed and stream, but then tomorrow before high school football, 6 p.m. and then 10 a.m. on Saturdays before the games. We're on.
So you can relive it.
You can relive
Let's
it.
relive it.
Right. If you want to stare at yourself for an hour,
I'll be pacing in the hotel.
Yeah,
That's what I
tape
do.
it or don't. The whole
yeah.
thing. You can do it twice if you want to, too. Hey, let's talk defense.
Okay.
24 points. However, there was a kick return TD. That's not. And I thought, if I may, the stat that I thought you'd be most happy with was only 2 red zone trips allowed by the Rams. They were only in the red zone 2 times.
Yeah, I think that kickoff return is the ultimate defensive coach's do we got to count that on our points?
Yeah, wait a minute now. That's not on me.
It's like a pick six.
Hold
wait
on
a second. I've been there. I've been in that seat.
Right, Schmedding and Whitworth are back there having a discussion.
Coach, do I count that on us? But we do. I think it was really good pieces of it. I was really impressed with our run defense, which we'll get into. We need to be really good at that this week. And it was one of those do-your-job games. It wasn't pretty. There wasn't a ton of sacks. But we did a good job of the pick six with Jaden Hicks, getting the interception by Jackson Latamua there later in the third quarter. So I think we can show some explosiveness, yet there's probably 3 of them out there that we could have caught too to get some more takeaways. But really proud of our defensive performance. I thought defensive line set the tone. Really impressed with the way Devin Richardson, Kyle Thornton, Tariq played, and just ensuring our linebacker position. And I think you see the depth in our ability to cover there on the outside.
Yeah, Richardson with 11 tackles, his first game as a Coug. I would imagine that was your vision for how that would go.
It was, and I think he came in, just with the career. He was a freshman All-American. He transferred. They moved him from linebacker to edge position at Texas, kind of a rotational player. So to come in and really establish himself as not only a leader early on in our program, but a guy that can go out there and make plays, I think that just breathes life and confidence in him going the rest of the way.
It felt like what you did on defense, right? I mean, Coach Schmedding kept good going. I didn't see huge changes. We did see that big blitz late. Maybe you did that, maybe it's Schmedding, but it felt like a Jake Dickert defensive team, and Coach Schmedding kind of took the baton.
It's our defense, and I don't say that in any personal way, but I think Jeff did a good job of taking what we have done really well and saying, hey, let's use a lot of this and let's put our own spin on it. I think there's still some iterations that are coming of things that he wants to get to, but I think you see, it's not broke. Let's not completely fix it. Our guys are really comfortable in the scheme, and with those returners that we have coming back, it says that these guys go play fast and make plays. And I think the defensive staff as a whole did a really good job of allowing our guys to do that. Now let's finish and go out there and finish a fourth quarter game.
I know Shaw Smith-Wade's your guy.
Yeah.
That's your boy.
Oh, he's our guy.
He's great. I never know how much to read into. I haven't called that corner's name a lot.
Yeah.
Well, is it because he was in great coverage? Probably.
Yeah.
Or was he not making tackles? Well, the ball didn't go his way. So, you know what I mean? It's always a hard thing. How did he play? How did he do?
I thought Shaw did a great job, and I think he played within himself because I think as soon as a corner starts really playing for plays and PVUs and interceptions, bad things happen. So I think he was in control of his game. I think he had a great blitz and a TFL. So I think he's going to show a lot of wrinkles, but he's going to accept the challenge of guarding everyone's best receiver. And in the Pac-12, that's a mighty task. So I thought he did a really good job of 14 last week. That's a really great receiver. I don't think you heard his name a ton.
Not early. He was all Mountain West.
So I think it shows kind of what he's capable of doing, and I think he's got really high potential.
Actually, the only time we did hear his name was when they moved him. They moved him away from Shaw in the slot, and they shifted him around. And I'm not knocking. They just had to change it up a little bit. How did Brennan Jackson do? And I want to couch that question in. He's here.
He's here.
Big Brandon Jackson.
Come on, let's give a round of applause.
Yeah, big round of applause for BJ, and his mom is here as well.
Yes.
And we love Mama Jackson, and so I just want to make sure that answer for those listening or here, they are right in our face. Right, he's a big guy. He's a big guy. So
I just think BJ is such a staple of our program, and I just couldn't be more proud to just know what he represents, what his family means to us and our program, and all the work that he's put in. And trust me, his best days are continuing, and I'm just so excited to have him be a captain, two-time captain in our program. Did I short you one? 2 or 3?
Two.
Okay. I know I short him.
That'd
be bad for TV. But at the end of the day, he just – once again, when you're the hardest worker and he plays free and fast, I think he's one of the best in the country, and I really mean that.
Well, he had a big one last year in Madison.
Absolutely.
6 tackles, 1.5 TFLs. We'll get into the matchup with the Badgers here.
Yes.
Let's do that. Earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest with more slot machines, table games, restaurants, lounges, and luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. We'll take a break, come back. We're live here talking ball with coaches. Cougar Football Hour live here at Zeppo's.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace!
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
he can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
This Cougar football tailgating moment is brought to you by Canoe Ridge Vineyards, proud partner of Washington State University Athletics. For this week's football matchup against Wisconsin, smart Cougar tailgaters know to pair award-winning Canoe Ridge wines with a crowd-pleasing pregame meal. Your mealtime roster will score big points with Canoe Ridge wines backing it up. Canoe Ridge Vineyards, representing the best of award-winning Washington wines with more than 85 critical scores of 90-plus points. Visit them at their Walla Walla tasting room or at canoeridgevineyard.com. Go Cougs!
This is former Coug, Eric Coleman.
Picked off, intercepted, touchdown coming into the end zone, Eric Coleman.
And you're listening to Cougar Football. Go Cougs.
Hey, Coug fans, can't decide what to do with your late night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
You know, when you love sports like I do, some people just don't get it. All the yelling, the face paint, the blind allegiance to some fictitious beaver. But you know who does get it? Epic Sports Bar. With their 30-foot HD TV, amazing game day menu, and live sports betting on their Turf Club sportsbook kiosk. So now, I don't have to worry about scaring the cat every time my team scores. Sorry, Muffins. Good kitty. Epic Sports Bar. Only at Northern Quest.
Welcome back to the show. Time now to look ahead at this week's game with the Coors Light Opponent Preview. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill.
Back at it live here at Zeppo's Cougar Football Hour. We're in the meat of the show here. We're in the middle of the show. Great crowd. Great to talk to you, Coach. It always is. This is one of my favorite times of the week, and it's, I don't know, it's just a little extra special. I know where you grew up. I know you're a pointer. You're a Wisconsin Stevens Point pointer.
Good shout out to the Pointers. We had a rough week one, but we're going to bounce back.
Oh, I love
we're down 56 rip at halftime.
I mean, I don't love that, but I love the shout out.
Okay.
Yeah. You're from Kohler, right?
Kohler, Wisconsin. I graduated from Kohler. I do claim it. I was just there for 1 year.
Okay. So, but you bounce around a little bit.
I was bouncing around.
Yeah.
Wisconsin through and through. 6 different places really growing up.
And you're here to try to beat the Badgers the back-to-back years.
Let's do it.
Here in Pullman.
That's right.
For the return trip. They show you what on film? They're the 19th ranked team in the country. They're 1-0. They just beat Buffalo 38-17. Sometimes, and it is the University at Buffalo, in case those were wondering. Sometimes pretty good. The Bulls, every once in a while, they can put together a good team. Buffalo's big city.
Well, I think the biggest thing when you really start with Wisconsin 2023 is that it's very different. It's not the Wisconsin that I grew up on. It's not the Wisconsin that anybody in here really remembers or knows. In those big power sets, tight ends, fullbacks, all that's gone. You're going to see a very similar offense to the one that we run. Right, so it's open sets, it's motions, it's passing, it's a lot of RPOs, it's trying to create space for the really good running backs, yet they're doing it still with massive human beings at the offensive line position and a transfer quarterback from SMU and, still churning out 300 yards of rushing in week one. So I think the identity of toughness, physicality, not beating yourself, I think still really carries over even though they have a new staff.
The backfield is what pops out. New staff, new head coach Luke Fickell, but Braylon Allen and Ches Malusi, neither of whom had 100 yards rushing against the Cougs last year, but they have many dual 100-yard games. They can really go.
Well, I don't get a chance to watch everybody in the country, but I know Wisconsin has 2 of the best tailbacks as far as a tandem in the country out there, and they're very different. I think Braylon Allen, the power, he runs behind his pads, his lateral jump cut to get vertical he's going to have a great career in the NFL, but don't mistake number one. Okay, he can hit the big one. He's really built for this scheme, getting the ball in space, hitting creases. I think he had an 80-yard touchdown run last week. So I think you see their explosiveness, but you also see that they're still working into their roles, right? Just like a little bit we are on offense. If you can get some pressure on the quarterback, you got to try to force them to get the ball out quick, and hopefully we can rally the ball and keep it underneath and prevent them from explosive plays.
Yeah, I've tried to wrap my head around how they're doing this. So their offensive coordinator is Phil Longo. Yeah. He was at North Carolina. Prior to North Carolina, he was at Ole Miss. If you think back to those 2 programs the last 5 years, they throw the ball a ton. So he calls it the air raid. But they've got Braylon Allen and Ches Malusi, and they both ran. They're going to maybe run 30 times. So that's not really the air raid.
You know how I feel about that air raid term, right? There's one man that runs it, Mike Leach, who we're going to honor on Saturday, and there's a lot of great memories floating around about Coach. But I think they're not quite where they want to be, and I think it's a progression of recruiting and building a program too. You got to use the tools that you have and the players that you have as you kind of continue to build the system. So they're still going to work to their strengths, and running the ball is still their greatest strength.
And what they will do is throw to the running backs. Braylon Allen caught 7 balls. That's new.
That's new. I think last year he had 0.
That's not his.
I think that's an actual factual stat. You're going to have to back me up on this one.
And I don't. Give me a day.
Okay.
Or give me maybe less than that. Give me a break.
Yeah, I think they're going to show their versatility. Get him the ball in space. I think that's something that he's craved because he's been going against loaded boxes for a really long time. And I think that was our plan last year. I thought we executed it well. So now as we're more spread out, we still have to do. It's about building a wall. And defensively, every man doing their job and trusting that the man next to him is doing theirs. That's how you stop a really good run team. And then just make sure we control explosive pass plays down the field because they are capable. Just like us last week, we missed a couple, they missed a couple in their game, and that can always change momentum and how it feels.
Of all the ones that was missed last game for the Cougs, I know that one to Revere, that tight end one. That was the one that Cam won it back.
Yeah,
he's right
we've released it, we've let it go. Yeah. We haven't talked about that, but that was one where just like he pulled the goalie and you just stoink one off the post, right? He just floated it there, and sometimes when. I don't know if you're a quarterback, Chaz.
I was nothing, Coach.
Okay.
I got nothing for you. No,
okay.
I claim none of that.
I was at one point. And then I was so good, they moved me to wide receiver in college, right?
Yeah, right?
So then as you roll out, and sometimes if you take the mustard off, it sails on you a little bit.
Is that right?
Right? The shoulder goes up a little bit. And you just
All right.
throw a high and hard a little bit outside. That's all it was.
Well, in that regard, also, it's important for me to know I'm still eligible, I think.
Okay, you got eligibility left.
Yeah, I got to.
Yes.
I'm taking notes. You know what I mean? It's important.
We'll see you at practice on Monday.
Thank you. I'll try hard. That's all. Try your hardest. All right, we'll take a break. Come back. We're live here. We're at Cougar Football Hour. We're going to get into. We got a billion fan questions, and we may need to talk to somebody in the crowd here tonight.
Let's do it.
Maybe.
We've got a remote microphone. Look out.
Maybe so. We're live here at Cougar Football Hour. Cougs taking on the Badgers on Saturday.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through. Yeah.
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel. Good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the 2023-24 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite school or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. That's thedirectorscup.com and L Directors Cup on Twitter. Trophies will be awarded in June 2024 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
If Pac-12 football runs deep in your veins, then Sirius XM Pac-12 radio is what you need to listen to. We're talking conference and team previews, plus hear live games, news, and analysis from experts like Jeff Schwartz, Yogi Roth, and Evan Moore. Go in-depth with your favorite team with coaches shows, championship specials, and more. Get inside Pac-12 football like nowhere else. Feed your fandom on the Sirius XM app. Stay up to date anywhere you go. Just download the app and start streaming.
You're listening to Cougar Football on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
Do you ever pay attention to overhead power lines? If you're like most people, you don't, but you should. Especially when you're working up on a roof or carrying a ladder outdoors. Kids who climb trees and fly kites and adults with drones need to watch out for power lines too. And on the off chance that you find a downed power line, stay at least 10 feet away and quickly call 911 and Avista. Always pay attention to power lines. It's your best line of defense. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
This is the Cougar Football Hour.
Somersaults in. Football first touchdown.
U.S. Bank. Life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank. Member FDIC. Here's Matt Chazanow.
Back at it live here talking ball with Coach Dickert. It is the Cougar Football Hour. We're live here at Zeppo's. Cougs taking on the Badgers. It is a 4:30 kick on Saturday, ABC. So this is the national, that's the East Coast primetime window on ABC coming up on Saturday.
That was exciting. Just getting over here, feeling the Pullman traffic, right? The RVs, they're starting to roll into town. They're just gating off the lots. I mean,
I love it.
It's going to be a great atmosphere.
We don't often do this. We never do this, in fact. It's a kind of special segment, special opportunity.
First time.
So many friends and family here in attendance. We're going to take we're going to randomly pick one person to throw some comments on. This gentleman raised his hand right here. Sir, please go ahead. You've stolen his microphone. We appreciate it.
Thank
please.
You.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we're on.
Yeah, I have a question for the coach.
Absolutely. Please introduce what's your name and where you're calling from.
My name's Jeff Dickert.
Oh, okay.
I happen to be his father.
Oh, how about that? How about that?
Yeah, and he definitely thinks he's Vince Lombardi, so careful. Right? His football expertise goes to a couple championships at Pop Warner. That's about it, just so we're on the same page.
And if your offensive coordinator needs my playbook, just give me a call.
Okay, that's great.
I do have a question for the coach. So, Coach, you said you played some sports, and you played football, basketball, baseball. 3rd through 6th grade, you were a youth foot. Who was your favorite coach during those times? That's all I want to know.
It's a great question, and thank you for the time to take.
Yeah, that takes me way back. There was this one coach that we had that I thought was pretty good. He was tough. He was tough. And then we were just preparing for a big game, but he got suspended for hitting his other son over the head with a clipboard. And he couldn't coach that game.
Is that right?
So then the next assistant that came up, he's probably my favorite one.
Right?
But
okay.
there was some tough love. Rule number 1 when in that age. No crying until you got back to the huddle. It was just whatever you did, whatever happened, get back to the huddle, then you could cry. Okay, and then we're going to go back out and do it again. So,
I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, round of applause for the Dickert family here in attendance.
It's great. I got
awesome.
aunts and uncles, my brother, obviously my wife, friends from college, and it's just really special. My sister's here to just have everybody here. My mom, it just is really important, and to be here is just it's special.
That's awesome. Hey, let's go through. We always try to get the write-in questions first before we go to X, Twitter, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Write-in question: when a game is this special, with your family coming to town, do you embrace the extra pressure or try to stick to routine and process?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is I'm a creature of habit. I think from the alarms to the cut-ups that I watch to just as I go throughout the process. I mean, you really have to look at it as a faceless opponent. I know there's a perception of noise and big game and hard, and I think that's great for our guys, and our players really earn that. But at the end of the day, this game will be won on the field. It isn't about the noise outside of it. It's about how we can perform and execute. But the one thing that we've been studying all the way from this fall camp is you win big games, not under the bright lights, you win them in the dark. And it's the preparation and execution that we've already put in that's going to allow us to be successful on Saturday.
All right. How does Wisconsin compare to the Palouse?
Oh, I don't think there's anything like the Palouse. I'm not going to say there's nothing like the Palouse. The Tuscany of America. I believe we're coining that.
That is the Wall Street Journal that came up with that.
Thank you.
And
that's a prestigious newspaper, I believe.
Sure.
But,
I've heard of it before.
Very different. Not too different, but one's corn, one's wheat. One's flat. You see a little bit more, livestock, but tough, hardworking, blue-collar people that are really passionate about their sports and passionate about their colleges. I've always said this reminds me of a Midwestern university, small town, big college. It's the lifeblood of the area, and our food tastes better when we win. I know that.
Yeah.
Everyone out there, all Cougs.
Cheers to that.
And our beer, it goes down better, too.
It's delicious.
It does.
It is delicious after wins. There's no doubt. Martin's one of the few stadiums in college football where you attend the first game in flip-flops and the last game in snow boots. How does weather impact the game plan?
Yeah, that could be as far as 1 game to 2 weeks later.
That's a good point. Yeah,
that might be the end of September.
That's
you
right.
never know. I think the best part of it now, especially this year, we're building a brand new indoor. We're excited to break ground on that this weekend, but there's no escape route. We're going straight Coach Leach style. Whether it's rain, snow, sleet, or shine, we're on that field.
Yeah.
So we're prepared in the elements. I mean, we have workouts in January out on the field on a Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. It's who we are. It's in our blood, and we just keep rolling through it.
That was a Coach Leach deal. Do I have to go inside? I don't want,
Yeah.
Right? Coach, there's 4 feet of snow on the ground.
That's right.
Yeah, we got to do it. Chip Kelly made some comments about the NCAA new rules.
Yeah.
Clock doesn't stop after first downs except for last 2 minutes of each half. So with the clock not stopping after first downs, do you have thoughts on that new rule? What are your thoughts on the rule change?
Well, I think I would like less commercials. I think in the first quarter we weren't on TV, so they had to make up like 12 commercials in the second quarter. And it's just one of those things where it's like, come on, let's play football a little bit. But I understand the business aspect of it. But analytics said it shaved off 6 plays a game. So you are looking at 1 possession. So I think Chip was a little ahead of it. He's an offensive guy.
Yeah.
I'm a defensive guy.
Right.
Let's get the game going. A little less plays. Let's keep those scores down.
Right.
That makes me feel better. But I think it'll impact the game. But I think we're in a sweet spot of making sure that we're doing it in the right time.
You can talk to him about it in a few weeks.
We will.
In the Rose Bowl. Actually, very shortly. Game 5.
October,
Yeah, absolutely. to confirm this is a write-in question.
Yes.
This is not me. How impressive is Dean Janikowski? My daughter wants to know if he's single.
Oh, wow. Dean. At last check, I believe Dean is not single.
Okay,
but
right.
Dean, let's give Dean a round of applause for that 55-yard field goal. I'm not sure what the record is, Chaz, but I know we're close
It's
to
getting
it.
there. Yeah, it was the top 5, I think, in history. Yeah.
And I don't want to know, Dean's here representing, their foundation, and just really proud of what he's doing in the Kick for Cancer. And go out there and support Dean. Just really proud of everything that he does, that he stands for, and he uses his platform for good and change. And just really proud of using his adversity to just share his message. And Dean, love what you're doing.
We'll take a break, come back. We're live here at Cougar Football Hour. Huge shout-out to Dean for all that he's doing and for all the write-in questions and for our random guests.
Yeah, whoever hooked him up with the remote, I got to see you after this.
Just a lucky bounce of the microphone. Yeah. We'll take a break, come back live here from Zeppos.
Saturdays are made for football. And when the game is on, we're finally off. Off duty, offline, out of office. A cracked Coors Light is our do not disturb message to the world. On game day, we don't think about the 9 to 5, but worry about the 4th and 1. So this Saturday, grab a Coors Light, press play on some pigskin, and pause on everything else. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment, made to chill. Proud partner of Cougar Athletics. 2021 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace.
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
he can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Whenever I see somebody purchasing something with their WSU card, I always like to give them a go Cougs. It brings me back to when I was in Pullman.
From the rolling hills of the Palouse to keys jingling before every kickoff, there's something special about being a Cougar. That's why BECU created the WSU credit and debit cards. It's just one more way to show pride for a place we all call home. Grab your WSU card today. BECU, power in people. Membership required. Restrictions apply. Call 800-233-2328 for details about credit costs and terms. Federally insured by NCUA. Member compensated for participation.
This is former Coug Eric Coleman.
Picked off, intercepted, touchdown coming into the end zone, Eric Coleman.
And you're listening to Cougar Football. Go Cougs.
Today's nutrition fact is brought to you by Wilbur Ellis. Did you know that potatoes and kiwis have more potassium per gram than bananas? That's right, so consider adding them to your diet if you're looking to boost your pre- or post-workout electrolytes. Wilbur Ellis cares about promoting a healthy diet. That's why they provide innovative agricultural solutions that enhance nutrient absorption in crops, ensuring optimum crop yield. Because healthy crops mean healthy athletes. Visit WilburEllisAgribusiness.com and chart your course for the winning ag experience.
Whoever said good things come to those who wait clearly never ordered in the McDonald's app. Just order ahead in the app, and you can pick up when you get here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Cougars fans, now you can win all season. On game day, get a 20-piece chicken McNuggets and 2 medium fries for just $10.99 when you order ahead on the app. Valid once per day through December 1st, 2023. At participating McDonald's, must opt into rewards.
This is the Cougar Football Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Runs into a massive Crimson, does not get the yard. It's a goal line stand.
Here's the voice of the Cougars, Matt Chazanow.
Back at it live here at Zeppo's Cougar Football Hour. It's the Cougs against the Badgers, 2 1-0 teams. Cougs got the best of them at Camp Randall last year. 4:30 kick on Saturday. Let's roll into the social media, shall we?
Always dangerous. Let's go, Cougs.
Let's dive in here. Yeah, we've got some good ones. Alex, great guy, great Coug, wants to know what coach from another Washington State sport would you want on your staff?
Oh, put me on the spot.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely going to go with Cammie.
Yeah.
She just,
She's great.
not only because they just won the Pac-12 championship with women's basketball, But I love her toughness. I love her grit. She actually came this spring and talked to our team and just shared the message with how she builds culture, and I think we really align. Just getting the leaders to build the culture and creating behaviors that create results, and she just did an amazing job of presenting to our team, which can be intimidating. She's used to 15, and there's a room of 125, and everyone just left with just really impressed with her message and what she brings to the Cougs. So just another shout out to Cammie and the women's basketball program. We're ready for another big year. Can't wait.
That. Absolutely. Coach Etheridge. Go Cougs and Seattle Sports. Ben has a kind of a dual question. With all the speed currently on the roster, if there's mutual interest, would you endorse any of your team to be two-sport like football track?
Yeah, we actually have Brandon Hills, a freshman that just came in, and he's over a 20-foot long jumper in high school.
Wow.
24 feet. So he's actually one of the top 10 in the country. We have Cody White, who came in as a freshman, who's one of the top 10 javelin throwers in the country. So they're going to be doing a couple different things. Brendan Ganashamorthy, I'm saying that right. We just call him BG. It's nice and easy for me. He's a 10, 4-5 kid, 10-6 out of high school. So we do have some dual sport guys already, and then we got guys that think they're dual sport. Like, you know what I mean? Like Sam Locke is like, I can play for the basketball team, right? You know what I mean? There's some guys that think they can really play some things, but they realize they get humbled really fast.
Yeah, Pete Callaghan probably loves that dual sport thing.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Coach Callaghan, he was a Olympic alternate in the shot put. Yeah. During his time, and he put his body through a lot. I think he's got 2 metal hips and knees.
Right?
Yeah, but I tell you, he could throw that thing, and he almost made it.
And always wears shorts at practice.
He does. He's a guy. If it's 10 degrees, he's in his cutoff
cut sleeve sweatshirt.
Yes, cut sleeve sweatshirts and shorts. Tough guy. No matter what, that's just Pete. That's the way he is, and that's the way he was bred.
He's great. First time I ever talked to Coach Callaghan, and I love him. First time he starts, it was a very intense. I said, "Hey, Coach, how's it going?" He starts talking to me. Well, it's about love. It's about love, and it's about intensity, and it's about focus.
Yes.
And I said,
yes.
Well, hi.
Wow. All the passion. And he's one of those guys, would just be getting into the building. I like to go early and work out or something before practice. And it's like 5:30, and I'm like, what's Pete doing on the field? He's just walking.
I love him.
And then he's setting up his indie, and he's visualizing. He's talking to himself. I'm like,
he's great.
Yeah, he's great.
I saw him
consistent.
After the LA Bowl, I had to fly for basketball. I think it was going to Dallas or somewhere, and I saw him in the airport, and we hugged.
Yeah,
he's like it was great.
Yeah, he wants to pick you up and break your soul.
Probably could have. Yeah,
one of those
probably could have.
Well, those handshakes. You're like
bear paws. Yeah, absolutely.
Takes you down.
With training and developing DBs, is it a regular occurrence to spend time on catching balls? That's a good question. Do they work on hands?
All right, so I'll let you on the inside of recruiting.
Please.
Right, one of the biggest things we talk about in a defensive back is, can you teach them ball skills? Right, I mean, we go back and forth, and I used to be, we'll just hit the jugs and we'll train them and they'll track it. But it's really something that these kids either have or they don't. And here's what we're learning. Okay, because now, back in the day, right, you didn't have all these fancy devices. You were out in the backyard playing ball, right?
Yeah.
Now they lost a little bit of that hand-eye coordination.
Really?
Yeah, I really do believe that. I think that's something that's real, and it's really hard to teach. It's more of the tracking than the actual catching of the ball, right? So when it's in your frame, yes, but how do I track things that are off target and within my scope is one thing that I think sometimes now I truly believe you either have it or you don't.
Interesting. Under-discussed pack player, Brandon Arconato.
Yeah.
Caught everything.
It's
just everything.
There's something to that where they just understand just how to manipulate their body to go out there and just have those sticky fingers. Is this different?
Just the fingertip.
Yeah.
If it was near him, it's stuck.
I was a receiver back in the day.
That's right.
But my sphere was really close and tight to my body, right? And I would just fall forward, Chaz. I wasn't very dynamic with the ball in my hand, if I were to say. But I do understand some of these things.
I know that you have aspirations in your next life to be a broadcaster.
Yeah.
And you'll be a great one, and you already are a great
I appreciate
one.
that. You carry me on this show, but I do appreciate that.
That's not totally true. But what I'm excited for in listening is when you're analyzing the game, you can say, well, I played that position and that position and that position.
Yeah.
Brinker's just a QB, right? But this is versatility.
When it goes to defense and defensive line toughness, he's a little short-sighted.
He's a diva. He's a QB. Yeah. We got to carry this guy everywhere. Yeah.
But the hard part is all those QBs are good at everything. Like Brink on the golf course, he can play.
He's a stick.
I know it's hard, but they just have some of those qualities that they can do a lot of different things.
Oh, they're different constitutions, especially that these NFL guys, they're just a different breed. Wazoo Wilson has a picture of Coach Leach doing the weather in Lubbock when he did the local news weather, which is a really funny video if you haven't seen it. Back briefly on Coach Leach theme this weekend, Mike was known for blowing off the stress of coaching by doing things like doing TV weather reports or cameos on Friday Night Lights. Yeah. What do you think about – it's a great question. What do you think about doing the local weather? I think
it's an honor. I mean, it's going to be sunny. Then 2 hours later, it's going to be windy here. Then it might rain. I mean, it's just like it's been fun to hear a lot of Coach Leach stories this past week. I mean, it really has. Just talked to Luke Falk sent something in about a time when they were losing at halftime, and he thought he was going to go in there, and Coach Leach was just going to rip his tail. And he walked into the quarterback room, and Coach Leach was on his phone practicing Spanish. That's so a real story. So and then they came back in the second half and won the game, and all was well. So
I love it.
Just a lot of stories. But I meant what I said earlier in the week. If people talk about me as a coach the way they talk about Coach Leach when we're all said and done, we're winning. He's had a great impact here at Washington State.
Most of the stories are personal.
Yeah.
Right? It's not, he threw for a lot of yards. No, it's different than that. It's
in the staff meeting today, we watched some of his quirky things that he'd do with the media, and he's one of a kind.
All time.
Yes.
All time. Miss him. Zane wants to know, and there's a picture of a cardboard bucket full of the bracelets.
Someone put in a lot of work.
Yeah, they have like the letters on the bracelets, like friendship bracelets. What would you want your Coug friendship bracelet to say?
Holy cow! You put me on his back.
You got 26 letters, any combination.
Yeah, right now I would say Cougs versus everybody.
Yeah,
I think that's our theme kind of going into it. And it's something that's been around here for a long time, but I think it's more applicable probably today than it ever has been, and we're all in this together.
Washington State University would like to thank Crimson and Gray for their continued support of Coug Athletics. Head to bookstore.com to get the latest in Coug apparel. That's BKSTR.com. We're out of time in this segment. We'll keep going through questions next. We're live here, Cougar Football Hour at Zeppo's. Beautiful night. Great to be outside and inside. The spillover crowd, the whole deal, friends and family. Back here live next.
When you love sports like I do, some people just don't get it. All the yelling, the face paint, the blind allegiance to some fictitious beaver. But you know who does get it? Epic Sports Bar. With their 30-foot HD TV, amazing game day menu, and live sports betting on their Turf Club sportsbook kiosk. So now I don't have to worry about scaring the cat every time my team scores. Sorry, Muffins. Good kitty. Epic Sports Bar. Only at Northern Quest.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
Cougar football.
Rolling right for the ball. Going to throw the long ball down the middle. Man over. Watch the end zone. Leaping grab. Touchdown. And the Palouse is going to pop.
Cougar football from Learfield.
Get game day ready at Rosars. Rosars is a proud sponsor of WSU Athletics and your headquarters for keeping snacks stocked up for game time. You'll find the largest craft beer selection, local and imported wines, and all the makings for your favorite cocktails. And while you're there, stock up on your favorite deli snacks, pizza, rotisserie chickens, and ribs. Don't just watch the game. Experience it with your favorite game time foods. Get game day ready at Rosars.
This Cougar football tailgating moment is brought to you by Canoe Ridge Vineyards, proud partner of Washington State University Athletics. For this week's football matchup against Wisconsin, smart Cougar tailgaters know to pair award-winning Canoe Ridge wines with a crowd-pleasing pregame meal. Your mealtime roster will score big points with Canoe Ridge wines backing it up. Canoe Ridge Vineyards, representing the best of award-winning Washington wines with more than 85 critical scores of 90-plus points. Visit them at their Walla Walla tasting room or at canoeridgevineyard.com. Go Cougs!
This is the Cougar Football Hour.
Somersaults in. Football first touchdown.
U.S. Bank. Life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank. Member FDIC. Here's Matt Chazanow.
Back at it live here at Cougar Football Hour. It is Coach Dickert, and we're live here talking ball before the Badgers. Let's roll through it. We'll try to get to all these. I'm not sure we have quite enough time. We've got a bunch here. But Jake wants to know, we saw a lot of cool offensive changes that Coach Arbuckle has brought to the table last week. Moving forward, how tough will it be for other teams to plan for that offense? You know, how will you keep the opponents guessing through the year? Will it evolve, probably, is the question.
Yeah, I think biggest thing when we hired Coach Arbuckle was just looking through that defensive lens of, like, every week was almost just new and different and exciting things of how he used his personnel in unique ways. And, you know, I even saw that just when we went throughout practice this week. He just always just wanting to be at the cutting edge of different things, yet being fundamentally sound and tough. And, you know we need to run the ball more efficiently and effectively, and how can we do those things against a really stout Wisconsin front? I mean, it's built on power. So I just think he sees the game in a unique way, and I think our whole offensive staff is just really aligned on how we want to play offensive football.
Wazoo Wilson, I think he had another question here. We'll double him up. He has another Coach Leach picture on here. This is his Friday Night Lights cameo.
Yeah.
We all stand on the shoulders of those who came before us. In honor of Coach Leach, who is known for his funny antics as well as his innovative coaching philosophies, are there any you draw on personally from his life as a coach, husband, and family man? I know you didn't know Coach Leach, so that may be, to some degree, a tough question.
I just think it's his legacy. I think when you hear the stories, and obviously we had Coach Morris last year that played under him, Coach McGuire, Coach Filani, when you hear about him as a football coach, I think you just see someone that sees the game so differently. And it's okay to want to just live in your own lane. And whatever people think or feel about that, let's do it because it works. And the one thing I take probably the most from Coach, he built a program on toughness.
Yes.
It wasn't always easy. Players didn't always like it. BJ, I would imagine, rolling around in that sand was tough at times, right? Yeah, so there was a program that was built on toughness, and he just did it his own way. And I think it's just a great example for anyone out there that wants to do it. Just chase your goals, chase your dreams. Don't worry about all the outside noise and the social media. Imagine coaching in this society today and the social media stuff. It just go out and do it, but do it in a tough, disciplined way. And I think he had unique ways of kind of showing that he cared. It was hard to see that when you peeled back the onion, but it was really there. BJ, would you say that? Would you say it was a tough outer core of an onion? Yeah,
he's got great stories. Yeah. Well, if I may, I watched Mike Leach come to tears at the senior banquet in the Cougar football complex. That was not a side he showed publicly.
Yeah.
It was just him and the guys, and I was lucky enough I don't even know why I was there. I think I was half emceeing the thing, but
That's
Coach
right.
was talking. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
But it was great, and so he definitely did. But Jennifer Delzer wants to know 2 things that could help make the running game more effective against Wisconsin.
Well, I think we're going to need to have it. I think there was too many times where I thought Colorado State did a really good job keeping us off balance up front with their movement schemes, and I think we just hesitated a little bit too much. So, looking at this Wisconsin front, are they going to be 4 down? Are they going to form to what Cincinnati did a little bit more in some of their 3-down concepts? I thought, I think there was mixed kind of reviews or answers that they had in game 1, but we need to be more consistent, and we got to be committed to doing it. And I thought we had a good week of practice. And it's got to show up in this game. And as we go throughout the season, we didn't run on a ton last year, but every time we did it, we were really effective. So find ways to get into 2nd and 5 and 2nd and 4, and then now we can attack and do a lot of different things within our offense. So it is an important question and one that we do need to get better. I thought we took a step forward dramatically in protection. Now let's get back to running that ball.
We'll take a final break, final segment next, live here at Zeppo's. Cougs and Badgers coming up.
Saturdays are made for football, and when the game is on, we're finally off. Off duty, offline, out of office. A cracked Coors Light is our do not disturb message to the world. On game day, we don't think about the 9 to 5, but worry about the 4th and 1. So this Saturday, grab a Coors Light, press play on some pigskin, and pause on everything else. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment, made to chill. Proud partner of Cougar Athletics. 2021 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Do you ever pay attention to overhead power lines? If you're like most people, you don't, but you should. Especially when you're working up on a roof or carrying a ladder outdoors. Kids who climb trees and fly kites and adults with drones need to watch out for power lines too. And on the off chance that you find a downed power line, stay at least 10 feet away and quickly call 911 and Avista. Always pay attention to power lines. It's your best line of defense. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through! Yeah.
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
The passion.
He's going to take it to the house. Dinner's cooking. Touchdown.
The fury.
Getting blitz. Down he goes.
The speed.
40, there he goes. Down the sideline.
The best in college football.
Toward the end zone. Got it for 6 points. You can unhitch the wagon. Put the ponies in the barn. Back in the end zone. 30, 20. Say goodnight to this one.
This is the College Football Blitz. Listen all season long on College Sports Now on the Varsity Network. Cougar football lives here.
Up the middle, touchdown! 1 second left. Cougars on top.
On the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
Spokane International Airport is a proud sponsor of Washington State University Athletics. The airport connects Cougar fans and alums with over 50 daily departures to 18 nonstop destinations provided by 6 major airlines, as well as one-stop connections to most major metropolitan centers throughout the U.S. Real-time arrival and flight departure information is available at SpokaneAirports.net. Spokane International Airport, when it's time to fly.
Back here live, we're at Zeppo's final segment as we get set for the home opener of 2023. Home opener, your first home opener coming back as a head coach. You've been here 4 years, but it's only your second year as the head man, where it's really all your deal. Yeah,
it's here, and like I said, the atmosphere is going to be amazing on Saturday, and the energy that our fans create is second to none. And I just can't wait to walk into that stadium.
Well, I'll tell you the energy that I'm going to create for breakfast tomorrow with this homemade Grandma Dickert jelly. Are you kidding me?
It made it over 1,700 miles. My favorite Aunt Jill, I believe, brought this.
I love it.
And to get some freezer jam, you got to try. Grandma used to make her own bread, and it was amazing. So it's here. The Spotted Cow is here. There's just a lot of things that we're going to have a great weekend.
I'm honored by the inclusion.
Yes,
I feel like, I really am.
I got to help Grandma because she did say, give it to the other guy that's with you.
That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. I'll take it.
We'll get better.
That's fine. I love it. Yes. And thank you, Grandma.
Yes, absolutely.
I love it. That's fantastic. Our guy, Tom wants to know how much Spotted Cow made it to the state of Washington. Do we have a count on that?
I don't know the official count, but I would say cases.
Oh, plural.
Cases.
That's good.
Yes, with an S.
That's good. Nick wants to know if you could sit any hour with one coach from any era to pick their brain, who would it be?
Vince Lombardi. Yeah. I think just the kind of godfather of football in my mind of, the Packers. And if you ever make it to Lambeau, Chaz?
I've never been. I'd love to go.
You'd be that close to heaven.
Is
you're just right there.
That's
with the Green Bay Packers. Now, we're going to be bad this year. We'll rebuild it back, but don't worry about that. Vince Lombardi.
I love it. Cougs 22. No question. Just a thank you to Coach and thank you to the team. Love the dedication and accountability you all bring us fans. Was at my first Apple Cup last year. Keep doing what you're doing and get it for Coug Nation. The Apple Cup belongs in Pullman. Excited to see you go, Cougs. So just a lot of love there from Cougs 22. A lot of love there from Cougs 22. And listen, here we are. This was a game. A lot of folks had this one circled for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? Because these things are scheduled forever out in advance.
Yeah, I can also thank Coach Leach for this one because this was supposed to be played a long time ago, and he said, I'm not playing the Badgers.
That's right.
I'm not playing the Badgers. I'm not playing the Badgers. Here we go. So
yeah, that's a thing. There are not a lot of ranked non-conference opponents for power league teams. That's not a Coug thing. Yep. That's an everybody thing. That's right. And part of it's dumb luck because you never know if somebody's going to be ranked when they're coming in. You can't control that. But in general, these games are rare opportunities. I think it's don't quote me on this, it's the first true road non-conference game for the Badgers in the regular season in 4 years.
That's incredible.
That's
incredible. I didn't even know that fact.
Yeah.
And over 25 years since we've had a Power 5 opponent here on our campus, and we've been waiting for this a long time, but it's a narrow focus. I talked about last week that scope, right?
Yeah.
And just as we've hunted these Badgers, to stay narrow in the scope and the focus of what we need to do and the details of how we need to play, it's got to be fast, fearless, and physical. And I think that's what our guys are really confident about. We want to take that next step. We want to show who we are as Cougs. And like I said, that environment, we're going to be feeding off the energy, and we got to try to find a way to come away 1-0, Chaz.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you for your
Absolutely.
time. And thanks to everybody here.
Thank you, guys.
Out. Thanks for coming out. I want to give extra special thanks to Zeppos because they helped set all this up, and they do a great job. And to Jerry Kylo and Jared Prenguber, this is not the easiest thing, and they are the best. They nailed it. Luke Hallett back in the studio does great stuff. 2:30 airtime Saturday with Derek Dice and the boys, and then a 4:30 kickoff. Cougs, Badgers, thank you, Coach.
It's here. Let's go.
All right, go Cougs.
Go
Thank
Cougs.
You guys.